Arsenal's Champions League semi-final with PSG will face Barcelona or Inter in the final. They play the first leg of their semi-final in the Olympic Stadium in Barcelona tonight. Two European... Look, you two are back. Two European heavyweights here. In your knowledge, rather than on the scales. Yeah. What kind of form are these two, though, coming into this game? Contrasting, I would suggest.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Barcelona secured their first trophy of a hopeful treble for them. They're aiming to win their third treble in the last 16 years. They won the Copa del Rey, a really dramatic fashion at the weekend on Saturday night, 3-2 against Real Madrid, an El Clasico that meant so much. We'll get into what happened in the aftermath of that coming up. But 4 points clear of Real Madrid. Now they are 14 games unbeaten in La Liga. And in fact, in 28 games in 2025, they've lost just once, won 22 of them, scored over 3 goals a game on average. Absolutely remarkable. In contrast, talking about trebles, Inter Milan's hopes of a treble have gone up in smoke. They are now 3 games, 3 consecutive losses, back-to-back to Bologna, who have got a reputation for giant killing so far this season, to Milan in the Coppa Italia, ending their treble hopes officially. And they lost to Roma at the weekend, conceding the most XG in a game they have all season. So they're now 3 points behind Napoli, and they've got a number of issues in terms of fitness and injury going into this one as well. So I'd suggest at the moment, Barcelona favourites.
OK, so it's not the first time, is it? They've faced off at this stage of the competition. What's their head-to-head record like?
Yeah, we can have a quick look at the stats here when Barcelona met Inter Milan before in the Champions League. And we see Barcelona have got the edge, 6 wins from their 12 games played. 2 wins for Inter Milan, the most recent one in 22-23 when they reached the final, lost to Man City, of course. That was in a group game. But most famously, of course, they beat them in 2010. Jose Mourinho in charge. Beat them at the San Siro 3-1. Went and lost at the Camp Nou 1-0. But that was, of course, enough to get through to the final. And it was the final at the Bernabeu. And that's why Barcelona was so desperate to get there, win it on enemy territory. And Mourinho really enjoyed that victory, didn't he, of course? And that led to Inter Milan winning that treble, as Dougie's just said, that's now out of their reach. But Barcelona, after picking up the Copa del Rey, own treble, maybe a quadruple if you chuck the Spanish Super Cup in there as well, is very much in their hands as well. So, yeah, some great history in this fixture. Inter Milan, as we say, though, probably going in as underdogs on current form.
OK. Can we read anything into team selection, though, and does that have any impact in this? Are there any injury concerns?
Yeah, there are. Lewandowski is, barring a miracle, out of this one. He'll likely be replaced by Ferran Torres. But you look at his record this season, 39 goals in 46 games. In La Liga, he took some criticism last year for missing a number of opportunities, was seen to be a player in decline. He's bounced back with 25 goals in 31 games in La Liga. Ferran Torres is likely to step in. And after a difficult first year and a half after joining from Man City, he's really come into his own this year, scored in the Copa del Rey final at the weekend, now got 17 goals in all competitions. And you look at the rest of their forward line, Lamine Yamal going from strength to strength, looking to back up a Euros in the summer with potentially a treble this year at his tender age. Rafinha, only Haaland and Suarez have contributed more goals in their first 25 in the Champions League. So they definitely have the firepower to still trouble an Inter Milan defence that might be missing Denzel Dumfries, one of their key weapons at right wing-back. Pavard is out as well, and Marcus Thuram has only just come back from injury, one of their key threats going forward as well. So injuries, form, it looks like it's heading to Barcelona, at least in terms of the favourites for this tie. And you look at their record with and without Marcus Thuram, who I think has been their outstanding forward so far this season. Their win rate, 61% with him, 68% without him, interestingly. But average goals scored per game, 2.1 to 1.5 without. And he's likely to be replaced by Marko Arnautovic, now in his mid-30s, or Mehdi Taremi, who hasn't necessarily hit the ground running after joining from FC Porto on a free. So injuries, form, very much against Inter going into this one.
Oh, so the case for Barcelona rises. OK, plenty of star power on display for both teams. Who are the key players to look out for here?
Well, I think naturally drawn to the attacks. I mean, Pedri's fantastic in that Barcelona midfield, isn't he? But when you look at their attacking numbers, 155 goals scored by them across the season. Obviously, we've just seen Lewandowski taking up a big chunk of those as well. But Rafinha, 30 goals, an incredible step up from him in terms of his goal-scoring output this season, in terms of what he's done previously. But this boy, Lamine Yamal, 17 years old, he just defies belief, I think, in terms of what he does. And you see him play, the class and the quality. He's got the outside of that boot with the crosses, quite often looking for Rafinha. They've actually supplied each other for quite a lot of goals this season. And Ferran Torres is not a bad player to step in with Lewandowski out. He's been their star really in the cup competition so far this season and started that Copa del Rey as final as well. So expect him to deliver in that front three, really threatening. And we can see a nice stat here, Lamine Yamal, 99 games under his belt, as I say, at just 17 years old. This was a decent young player they had on their books.
Loving his haircut. Yeah. Good haircut stage for him.
Yeah, he's had a few decent hairdos over the last few months as well. But look, 21 goals for Yamal, 41 for Messi after 99 games. Incredible. But look at the assist count, 33. Really incredible. And 3 trophies won for Yamal to 4 for Messi. Of course, there's 2 more potentially within his grasp this season.
Goal contributions, if you do that, because that seems to be the trendy thing at the moment. Right, and goals and assists, that's 56. That's 55. Is that right? I was in maths set 6. You do it for me.
54. 54.
Oh, 54.
Just got
Add the trophies.
That's right, then they're basically...
they're the same. They're the same.
Some player. And from the Inter Milan side, if we're going to talk about attacking players, Lautaro Martinez, of course, we've got to talk about him. Their captain, their galvanising force up front, a player who's once linked with joining Messi at Barcelona, but he's stayed put at Inter Milan and he's been their hero, really, their Champions League top scorer. Across his career, he's got 8 in 11 this season in the Champions League and 21 goals across all competitions. So we've seen this Barcelona team, as brilliant as they are attacking, they do leave space in behind. Dortmund exploited that in the second leg, couldn't get enough to turn around that 4-0 goal deficit from the first leg, but he might have a few chances across these 2 legs.